Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Simone Biles story, Courage to Soar. This is a movie. I had it listed as a documentary. I thought it was like one of those 30 on 30 ESPN type things. They do have one of those, but it's not this. So it's actually a movie. It's a biography. It's acted. It's a drama. It is. From 2018. It's an hour and 26 minutes long, and 2018, I'm pretty sure she's gone on to do even more better stuff since then. I think. I don't keep up with the Olympics so much, but I certainly know her name, and I know that she is a talented gymnast. And just so you know, this is the number 171 was the Simone Biles story. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there. So what we get here is a mixture of a number of things. It's a biography that has actors playing Simone and her sister and her parents, who basically are her grandparents, who took her in when her mother was having problems with staying sober. Took in her and her other sister. They had 4 kids. There 3 girls and a boy. The older one stayed in Ohio, and since she was like 6 years old, her and her sister, who were very young, they moved to Texas, and where Simone got her first, let's say, inspiration to become a gymnast. She liked jumping on the trampoline and tumbling around, and she was full of energy. She's this tiny, tiny little thing, and she still is, which is, as a grown-up, she's very tiny, and that works to your benefit as a gymnast, just because you got to keep that body tight and keep it under control as you're flipping around. Every sinew has to be under complete control. And we learn in this that she's a little bit of a focus problem. She struggled with the fact that her family at first, and then diagnosed as being ADHD, having ADHD, and so she sort of pushed against it for a while, and saw it as something shameful. And we get to see that how she sort of comes to understand and deal with that, and struggle with her focus in order to improve herself on the mats and in the bars and all the twisting and twirling and everything else. I don't know all the terms. I'm sorry. So in this, it is sort of, it's not made to be an exact one-to-one clean-cut story of her life. Some things have changed, some names have changed, some timing of certain things have been moved around. They explain that at the end of the film in text. Just so you know, this is not you have to make it, you have to sort of tighten up some of the little parts in here. As long as you're not, saying she's an astronaut or a space alien or some other crazy thing that she wasn't, you can still tell the same story with the same purpose. And I think this is really made as kind of a TV movie, that it was certainly not in theaters. But we get to see a version of her story which can be shown to kids. Not that there was anything objectionable that would, freak out kids, except maybe her mother's addiction problems. But even that, they really tamp down on. Simone feels very estranged from her mother, and that is, if this was a Hollywood movie, that would be the biggest, just juiciest part of the story. They just pump it for everything it's worth, for the drama. In this, there's just enough drama to go. She just feels no connection to her mother. She calls her by her first name, Shannon, and she's lived life. She's moved on, in a sense, with her grandparents to call them mom and dad, and as they've supported her throughout her entire life since she was 6, despite all the changes going on and decisions being made about the lives of her and her siblings, being put in a foster home just for long enough to allow her grandparents to take charge of their lives at such a young age. So it's kind of great that we get to see that young part of her life. They get these fantastic little. Just, I don't know. I imagine the little girl was 6 years old. She's doing gymnastics and acting, and there's also a teenage version of her. The little version. I'm probably going to have to scroll forever to find it, but I don't know if I'll ever find it. But her teenage and young adult version is where are you? Dang it. Her name is Jante Godlock, plays Simone Biles through a majority of the film. And she's parented by some other faces you might recognize. Tisha Campbell plays Nellie, and Julius Tennant plays Ron. Biles, they're her parents throughout this. And you'll probably recognize a number of things. Kathleen Rose Perkins plays Amy, her trainer, for pretty much her entire career, and she is. I recognize her from a bunch of stuff. I've seen her. She mostly has the stuff I've seen her in. She's done comedy, but yeah, she's fantastic. When I saw her, I was like, I know who you are. Yeah. So, but the main part of this is that it tells a 1.5 hour simplified story that is, again, not too complicated, not too overwrought. You see that she's not perfect from the start, not just dealing with ADHD, but also dealing with her own self-consciousness about her body. When boys make fun of her because she has like these really strong arms, and she gets self-conscious about it, as any teenager would in these cases. And she's just tougher than half the boys that are making fun of her. She's just better arms than these. But yeah, you get to see that she's just a kid through all of this. Since 6, and she showed tremendous promise at a very young age. But it didn't mean that she didn't fail, that she didn't really screw up, and that she didn't make some bad choices when it came to when it came to her gymnastics. She couldn't do certain things. She was not good at certain things. She was great, I think, on the floor, and flipping and jumping, and again, I know all the terms. She's great at all those things, but not everything, and she had to prove in other ways. And there was a woman who was the kind of the coach, Martina Karoli. I hope I said that right. She's Russian. She had a Russian accent, Eastern European. Could have been Ukrainian. I don't recall. But she is played by Marilyn Norrie. But she, Martha? Is it Martha? Man, that type is so small. Martha, sorry. Martha was the kind of the woman you wanted to get at your back to push you harder than anybody else. And you got to see that she was not on the Simone Biles train from the start easily. She didn't just go, oh, you're so talented, you should totally, yeah, she wasn't on that train from the start, and she made her work for the opportunity to do that. I know I'm giving away most of the story here, but if you know and love Simone Biles, you pretty much know her story from just rags to riches. I'm hoping she's made some money, put herself on a cereal box and everything. I hope the girl did some made out. I hope she made out. I don't know what her state is. I know that at one point in the last Olympics or something, she skipped out because of certain issues. But she came back later. So that was great. I totally had that story wrong. I really don't know. But I know she's a tremendous talent and a great representative in the Olympics in Rio, I believe it was, in 2016. So, yeah. At least that's how far it depicts her life to that point. So, yeah, it builds all the way up to Rio and the Olympic Games there. So definitely give this a shot if you're into Simone Biles, obviously, or into gymnastics and sports as it is. I can't say that it's the greatest movie ever made, the greatest biography ever made, but it does the job. I'm going to tap this just in case this is one of those change back to 10 minutes. But yeah, it's the thing is, it's well structured. It is. It's got a surprisingly good cast. Not surprisingly, but I mean, usually a lot of kids when they're actors, they're not great. They're usually picked for their how much they look like the character that they're portraying, in this case, a real person, or just maybe their other talents, such as gymnastics. But in this case, especially Jante, I really hope I say her name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Especially Jante is just knocking it out as Simone herself. This is produced by Simone as well. And just so you know, there are moments where, there's where Jante is doing the acting of scenes leading up and off to and off the mat, but they cut away to footage, even from her younger years that Grandpa filmed with his handy cam, to actual footage of the real Simone Biles performing these things. Because there's no way you're getting an actor just suddenly recreating those moves. No, there's a reason why she is who she is, the talent that she has. She's Simone Biles. And there ain't anybody else who's just, I'm an actor, let me just start flipping around and doing stuff. That's not how it works. So, this is definitely, they had to cut away or do some really choppy editing to make it look like the actor or a stunt person was going to try to recreate these things, or they had to CGI it, and that would have been horrible. Thank you for not doing that. The funny thing is that when they cut to sequences of the real Simone doing her gymnastics, they always usually don't show her face. At least the parts that they show us, you never see her face, so it doesn't go, oh wait, that's the actress, that's the real person. It's tricky, but it cuts together pretty smoothly. And even though, it seems like suddenly the quality of the video, since Grandpa's handycam, or Dad's handycam, is a bit grainier than, say, professional footage from the Olympics. And also the professional footage of the filming of the film, you see that it cuts back and forth between the quality, but that's okay because you get that feeling that you're looking through Dad's camera to see these moments as they happen. And it's great that he took the time to film these things when she was young, so we get to see this prodigy at work from a young age. So definitely check it out. But for now, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 9. Let's see what we got for number 9. Number 9. Okay, we got another documentary. This one I thought was a documentary. Is not a documentary. Hey, you put it in black and white, half the time it's a documentary. And it's from the Civil War or something, but no, this is not Civil War, and it's not a documentary, but this is. I think this is a series, possibly. If it is, we'll watch one episode and see how it goes. But we're going to be watching Alaska's Deadliest. Should have figured that it was going to be an A title. So that's what we're watching next. Alaska's Deadliest on the next Disney Plus Celebrity Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.